One of the most important aspects of programming is to handle user input. Generally, user input is temporarily stored in memory as a variable. To declare a variable, we have to understand the fundamental data types, which determines the type of data a variable can handle. Hello friends, you are watching Dev's Coding Hub, and this video demonstrates fundamental data types in C programming. So let's start a new program, file, new empty file, and I'll write program to demonstrate data types. So this is the comment. This program will demonstrate all data types used in C. We'll include the header file followed by int main. So this is the main function. We'll write return 0 for it, as because the return type is int. And then we can write the code. So let us see the fundamental data types, which are the most common type of data type that can handle basic type of data. Suppose we want to store gender of a person, and that should be only given as M for male, F for female, and O for other. Okay, so we can write char gender. So char is the data type here, and gender is the name of the variable that will store the gender of a person. And if I put semicolon at the end, this becomes a variable declaration. So what I have declared? I have declared a variable. Remember, for declaring a variable, we need to specify a name to the variable and a data type in front that specifies what kind of value that should be stored inside the variable. So this variable gender will be storing a single character. Now let us see how we can take data from the user. So for taking data, we have to write printf and give a message to the user so that user understands that he or she has to give the gender of a person in single character. So enter gender. For hint of the user, we can write M/F/O. That means you can either enter M or F or O. And then when the user tries to enter it from the keyboard, we have to write scanf to accept the data in a variable called gender. So we'll write the format for the data type. For character data type, the format is %C. The %C denotes character, and then I'll put comma followed by address operator. This ampersand is called address operator. So I must specify the address of the variable to store the data. I'll write gender. So now if the user enters any of these genders, it will be stored in the gender variable. And then to prove that we have successfully accepted the data in gender variable, we can do a printf to check its value. So within double quotes, I will write your gender is, and then after colon sign, a space, and followed by %C. This %C will be replaced by that single character that represents the gender, and it is actually stored in. So we'll just take the name of the variable to print the value of the variable. Here we need not have to write the address of the variable. So simply to go to someone's house, we need to know the address. So to store something in gender which is in memory, you have to put the address operator in front. But for calling gender, there is no need for the address. You can call it directly. Okay. So for displaying, there is no ampersand in front of the gender, but for accepting data into gender, we need to write the address operator in front. So this is how we'll be able to take data in a variable and print it. So let us save this file as dt for data type 1.c, and then let us run the code. Let us place this output screen here, the right side. So first the variable is declared, which is happening in memory. So there is no trace of that on the screen, output screen. The next one is what? Printf. So it is going to print on the screen. So what is printed? Enter gender M/F/O. So it is printed. Now scanf is waiting so that it can enter data and it can take it to the gender variable. So if you write F for female and hit enter, see, you'll be able to see the next line of printf. Printf, your gender is C, gender. So this %C will be replaced by the gender variable's value, which is F in our case. Clear? So this is how we can declare a variable, then take data into a variable and print the accepted data. So in this small program, what we have learned? We have learned character data type, what it stores, and how data can be accepted in a character type variable. So let us test out the next data type, which is the int data type. Int data type is used to take integer values into it. If you are using a DOS based IDE like Turbo C++, your integer will be 2 bytes. How many bytes? 2 bytes. So it can store a value within the range minus 32,768 to 32,767, not more than that. But in this case we are using what? Code blocks, which is a Windows based IDE, and here integer is 4 bytes. So here integer can store a value ranging from minus 2147483648 to 2147483647. So if I give a value more than this limit, okay, that is 2147483647, it will automatically jump back to the negative plane. Okay, so we'll check that. Now let us declare an integer variable. Integer variable can be declared by using the keyword int. See, the keyword int is written in green color, okay, in this ID. So it will have separate or different type of color from the other section of the code. So in this case, all keywords are printed using green color. So after int, we can write, suppose, age. So this integer variable can store age of a person, suppose. Then to take the data, I'll have to write again printf. Within double quotes, I can write the message, enter your age. And then we can do a scanf. And the format for accepting integer data type is %d. So I'll have to write %d for taking integer, followed by a comma and the address of the variable age. So this scanf statement will be taking the data from the user and storing it in age variable. Now to print the age, we'll make it a little bit interesting. So we'll write printf, hello there, you are %d years old. So for this %d, we have to put an integer after comma. So from where I'll be getting the age? I'll be getting the age from the variable age. So as because I'm printing the value of the age variable, I need not have to give the address. So just semicolon to end this line, and let us save again and run the code. Now see, as we have written that we have to enter the age, the first printf is displaying here. Suppose we enter 47 as someone's age, then the message will be displayed as hello there, you are 47 years old. So that's it for integer and character data type. The third data type we'll learn is the float data type. So let us write float. Suppose %. So we are going to take percentage of a student. So instead of writing the printf, enter your age, I'll write %. And then instead of this age variable, I'll be taking the data in percentage variable. Okay, I've copied and pasted it. But the format for taking float, percent could be what? A fraction, say 65.50. Okay, so the format is f. If I give the format as f, I'll be able to take the percentage in the variable %. So I can write your percentage is %f, and this %f will be replaced by percentage variable. So let us save again and run. Let us type the percentage as 86.50 and hit enter. Your percentage is 86.500000. So how many decimal places are shown? 6 decimal places. So we can reduce this to 2 decimal places. The only thing we need to do is to put a 0.2 in front of the %f. If I do so, save the program and rerun, see, if I write the percentage as 68.50 and hit enter, see, now I am getting 2 decimal places instead of 6. So to limit the number of decimal places that will be displayed, we can give a point and then followed by the number of decimal places we want before the %f, before the f. So it can be seen here like this. If we want to calculate using more decimal places, we have to go for the next data type, which is called double. So let us see how double works. Instead of float, I can just write double. So instead of %f, the format of double will be LF. So it is LF. So to display 2 decimal places or 3 decimal or 4 decimal places, suppose, we can write 0.4 LF. And then I can save and rerun the program to see how the double data type is working. I am writing a lot of decimal places. Now see, only 4 decimal places are being displayed. You can reduce the size to see the entire code. Okay. So this is how we'll be declaring variables of different data types, and we'll be using them to take data from the user.